All right, so I want to now talk about some of the tips that I felt that would be appropriate for this to change our lives. We've now discussed what the problem is, right? If you find, hey, I've been betraying myself, don't beat yourself about it. No. From this moment, you can start to do some of these things I'm going to tell you. And if you think of other things you can do to help yourself, you do those too. But you do them quickly. When you think about it, do it. So, number one, before going to bed, decide what needs to be done. And then tomorrow morning, first thing, before your body can say, Ish, mara kubuhlungu, ish, mara, I feel like, ish, no, ish. There's that little man inside our heads that goes around and just checks all our joints and everything and goes, okay, you're sick. Before that little man gets up, get out of bed and go do the things you said you were going to do yesterday. But make sure that before you go to bed, you've got a list. You've just written out at least 3 things that you need to do within the first hour or so that you wake up. And then bound out of bed like your bed is wet, okay? When that alarm clock goes off, don't snooze it and be like, oh, let me just work out my plans in my mind. No, you've made plans last night, you've written them down. Now get out of bed as quickly as you can and just go do it. Sometimes the most courageous thing to do is just to be to yourself that friend that defends your best thoughts against your own demons. It only takes 5 seconds to either do what you know to do or to put it off. It's 5 seconds. When you actually see yourself saying, this is a great idea, do it then. If you give yourself 5 seconds, you're going to talk yourself out of it. Okay. The next one is, do the things that will yield the most benefit for you first thing in the morning. So if there's like 5 or 15 things that you've got to do, go through the list and just find the top 3 things that is going to just give you the energy to now, once you actually have made yourself proud of yourself within the first hour of the day, then the rest of the day can take care of itself. Once you've woken up, I used to say to my staff, don't decide to not come into work until you have at least showered, brushed your teeth, and combed your hair. Because once you've done that, you realize that I'm going to call in sick and then I'm going to sit and do what? By 8:30, I'm going to be bored. I can only chase the sun around the house with a mug so long. It's just, what am I going to sit in the township and do? What am I going to sit at home and do? I'm not going to sit here and do nothing and waste a day. Maybe save this day for one day when I've actually got, commitments or something. But whatever it is that energizes you in the morning, do it. This may be praying. This may be listening to that podcast or putting on that doof music. Whatever it is that makes it uncomfortable for you to continue to lie there, do that. Make sure you've set it up so that you can do things that feel like you are a winner within the first 30 minutes to an hour of your day. Then the next thing is trick your body into doing the right thing before it wakes up enough to block you on a physiological level. When you are a runner, I've heard someone say they wake up first thing in the morning, but the night before, when they first start running and committing to it, they go to bed wearing the clothes they're going to need to wake up and run in, because they're trying to minimize the number of decisions they have to make before they do the thing. I call it eating the frog. Before you eat the frog, make sure that you've prepared it. You've got yourself prepared to actually do it. But if you can make yourself start doing something before your mind says, but I don't feel like this, before your body starts to say, but I don't wanna, then by the time your body wakes up, sorry, it's already in the circuit at the gym. It's already in the street running. It's already at your desk working. It's already in a position to maximize your day. And I think I've touched on the previous one. Take as many decisions out as possible. So by this I mean that make less decisions. Situate yourself so that you know what you promised yourself to do. You prepared to do it as much as you can prepare for it as possible. you prepare for it. Like, for instance, if you already ironed your clothes to go out and do whatever tomorrow morning, if you already took everything that you're going to need for tomorrow and you've packed it nicely, you've packed your scuffed in, you've gotten yourself ready, you've got your walking shoes right by the door, it's going to take a lot more. It feels like you know how much effort you've already done to prepare yourself to get there. It's almost like you've already started doing the thing. So the less decisions you have to make, the more actions you can make. Spend less time making decisions and more time doing the things. Do this prep at the time you are finding pleasure in thinking about your wonderful plans. So while you're thinking about, it will be so nice to go to wherever and do whatever, then do it then. At that time when it feels so nice, so pleasurable to imagine that you could achieve that, make the best plans. Do one thing. I've heard Tony Robbins say, when he is doing some of his talks, he actually gets people to do the first action. So if maybe they were thinking of making more sales appointments, he'll say to them, okay, the first thing that you're going to do now, before you let yourself off the hook, go and send a few emails, or 1 or 2 emails to some key people that's going to actually be a game changer for you. And then once you've done that, you've kind of committed yourself, because you've made it possible for you to do that thing without having to do, it's harder to talk yourself out of something than to talk yourself into something. To talk yourself out of something that you really did and you put effort into, that you thought was a good idea, is going to be a lot more difficult than to talk yourself into doing something you have not prepared for, you have not planned for, So let yourself have less excuses. And then throughout the day, catch yourself fulfilling yet another promise to yourself. And then smile at yourself, because you are fulfilling promises to yourself. Keep doing that. And don't be satisfied with one win. Get another and another. Another win, another win, another win, another win. Yeah? Till your entire day is made up of winning over your lesser inclinations. Yes, the battle is in the mind, but it often isn't the battle that we think it is. It is a battle to keep promises to ourselves, to withstand our own self-betrayal through flinching in the moment of forward thought and therefore forward action.